All right, go this way. There we go. All right. So we are live. We're gonna go ahead and sorry for that ghetto-ness.
Damn,
Oh
dog.
damn, I shot you.
Amazing, dog.
I took you out. I took you out. My bad, bro. My
All
bad,
right,
bro.
so we're on the topic of
Manipulation.
manipulation, and this is
Manipulation.
manipulation in a child to a parent, and
Yes.
how we
Yes.
deal with it, when we deal with it.
When do you think? Um, when do you feel like manipulation really starts?
Like I said, right from birth.
Right from birth.
Right.
Okay. When does manipulation start really affecting us as fathers? Let's just talk to the males.
Well, this is the moment that we know that our child
To fathers,
know.
not parents,
This is
fathers.
as soon as we feel like the child knows they're starting to gain an understanding of what it is that they're actually doing, like, and it's becoming like you see that, like, you just know when you talk to your child, and you can see if they're lying. You can see if this is like if they feel like they can't be honest
Uh,
about something. And this is just a matter of manipulation. Happens a lot when there's no communication.
but give me an example. Like, how would you? So, um,
Listen, I'll
why'd
probably
you do bad in school?
I,
Why'd you do bad in school? Like I'm saying, I'm just giving a given topic. Um, and to me, I know I asked you for an example, but to me, um, a lot of things that I pick on manipulative gestures
mm,
is they 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 fail to take um, responsibility for bad actions. It
okay.
wasn't my fault. The teacher don't like me. Um, you know, you can ask my friends in school. She just has an issue with everybody. Um, that to me, red flag.
Hmm.
Like who's talking about your friends in class? I'm talking about, yeah.
Redirecting the attention.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like that deflecting the
Hmm.
situation. That to me is personally, I know that everybody is different, but to me that is a red flag. That to me tells me that you are trying to avoid a situation that you don't want to talk about at the moment. You might be at fault,
Right.
and you don't want to be at fault because you have a fear of failure. You don't want to go ahead and feel like, damn, I failed my father. He caught me slipping, and am I, am I right?
Yeah. No. I mean, this is something that we can experience with our children. Is the moment where we feel as if though they want to pull one, they want to get one over on us, and we catch the moment. And at that moment that we're catching it, we want to make it. We really want to make this a learning moment for them. We want them to really start to learn that the communication has to be there, so they don't feel like they have to manipulate a situation.
Facts.
Because if the communication is there and they know that communication is abundant, and they really take consideration of their relationships, they won't feel like they have to
What do you
manipulate.
mean take consideration
Taking
of our
cons- taking
relationships?
consideration the relationships that they have with the people around them. When, like, if I want to ride somewhere,
Okay.
all right, um, and I might be sitting on the couch.
Okay.
Somebody comes in, and they're like, "Oh, um, are we still going to the store? Yeah, yeah." And then I start saying, "Oh, well, uh, I wanted to take a ride, or man, I wish I could go somewhere." It's just like the inability to be direct is manipulation.
Absolutely.
So as soon as you're not able to be direct about what you're trying to put out, now you're trying to manipulate something instead of just being direct. And the more I think that we're direct with one another, and this is being direct with your, and this is also children, when they want their way, they're also going to manipulate. They're going to manipulate things, and this is and
Absolutely.
this is and this is divisiveness. And they're learning this. Obviously, it's a learned behavior. Um, And when you see what it does, when you see I get my way, you don't learn anything about communication, and you further this cycle. So I think in furthering this cycle, we wind up with less communication and more manipulation. And now this is going to stem out into their relationships with people outside of the home. Everything that they do, everything that children do inside the home, they try to find the reflection outside. So you have to make the nucleus the most important part
Absolutely.
of the experience for them. So
Absolutely.
like when they go to school, every little kid is like their sister and brother. And a lot of communication is bad between siblings. I mean,
A
listen,
lot of communication
listen,
is that between
I,
siblings.
like I'll be honest, like my sister and I, we don't talk that much. Do I not like her? Nah. But she's living her life, I'm living my life.
Was it like that from when you were younger, though?
Yeah, it's been like that. It's probably learned behavior. We have an 8-year gap between us.
Okay.
So
Hola.
it was like I was a child and she was a teenager, and it was kind of like get away from me. So a lot of that, it was maybe the way I see it is like, all right, now I'm not there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always wanted to get rid of me. I mean, I never even think about that, but sometimes in the back of your mind.
So do you, so that's interesting that you're saying that. I mean, so do you feel like maybe she's always seen you as a stepbrother?
I never felt like that. I never felt like
Okay,
that.
well,
I felt like, honestly, to me, that's my sister. Like,
fact.
I don't know her as nothing
Yeah.
different. I know that's my sister. And we've been, I mean, since I've known her since I was born. So it's like she's nothing is you can't tell me
she's
that's
your
anything
sister.
else.
She's your
So
sister.
so the way I see it is just like people grow and they do their own thing, and sometimes um when you're not really raised, I mean, we weren't raised to really have a relationship with one another. I really
So
highlight.
what you're so let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
So what you're doing with your kids today,
Right.
you didn't have that as.
I didn't have that. No, I have.
So you're correcting the issue.
I think God had corrected it for me. I mean, placing my children in such close proximity to one another, like for me to have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, that has allowed me to see something. It's probably healed something inside of me that I don't even realize.
Amen.
Like, it's really healed something inside of me, because when I was young, I didn't have anybody around me. I was, my sister would leave my ass for like hours. I come home from school.
It's too late to call DCF.
She leave my ass home for hours, and my parents are working, and it's just like, listen, man. But I was a loyal brother, man. Like, I wouldn't even rat on her. Not until like she.
What's the craziest thing your sister did to you?
The craziest thing my sister did to me. Oh, well, she actually used to have me call. She used to have me call her like boyfriends when she didn't want to be with them no more.
No way.
She would have me cuss them out on the phone. I was lit. So it was like she would give me the whole artillery, like all the words, and I was like, damn.
You got it down, and you'd be like rehearsing it. I'm gonna tell this nigga off.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, listen, you call her, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
It's on site.
I don't know how tough I sounded, but
how old were you?
Man, probably like 7, 8 years old.
Oh, you weren't tough at all.
I wasn't tough, bro. If they said something, I was gonna be crying. I said it and hung up. I didn't even want to hear nothing.
How old was she?
So 8 years apart. You would think if I was 8, she was like 16 years old?
No, manipulation.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
But yeah. So back to the manipulation is like, really, we all in a sense want to manipulate the outside, the outcome of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes maybe the word manipulation could get a bad rep.
It always has a bad rep because manipulation, from hands,
right?
You know, the manipulación, meaning you're manipulating, you're changing, you're forcing change upon something.
Right.
Like that's
and this is but listen. love and light can't move mountains,
No.
right? So sometimes you gotta physically move that mountain out the way, and you gotta do that in such a way. Maybe you gotta get some special bulldozers to take it all
Yeah.
out. But it's like whatever the case may be, you gotta. Sometimes it takes force, and we do. If but the thing is learning how to sharpen that sword in such a way where you're not using it to get what it is that you want selfishly, but that listen, I want to manipulate the reality as much as I possibly can, but I want to do it in such a way where I'm using balance all the time to do it.
Well, positive energy.
So this is learning
Po-
to teach.
po-
If you teach your kid, listen, you can.
Positive energy. You
Right.
you wanna go ahead and try. And I know this is hard because I'm here talking about this, and I don't want y'all to think that, oh yeah, he probably knows how to do it. No, I don't know nothing. I'm still learning. Parenting is an ongoing learning
Hell yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Right.
From the beginning,
from
they're
the
teaching
get
you how to
from
be a
the
parent.
get go. I'm still learning how to be a parent.
Yeah.
I've found out secret powers that I have as a parent, abilities that I have that I didn't know that were within me.
Yeah.
And I've also found downfalls that I have as a parent. Weak points. We all have them.
Yeah.
And it's completely normal. You're not gonna be a perfect parent. But that being said, I think it's important that we start doing a little bit more research, and maybe a little bit of discipline isn't all that bad, because anything in excess is bad. Too much
Right.
freedom is bad. Not enough freedom is bad. So
Right.
we gotta find a medium. We gotta
Balance.
find a middle point where, okay, well, learn how to balance things. Like, for example, my youngest, for example, I say, what do you want to do? No, I like going on family trips. I like going on nice vacations. Okay, well, you make sure you give me an A, B's, and maybe a C. But then I mostly leave it at A's and B's. Give me A's and B's because you don't really do nothing. You don't work. All right. You don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about nothing. All you got to worry about is just going to school.
Right.
And these conversations are the ones that you got to have with your kids. You got to have these conversations with your kids. Because why do you need them? Because all the kids are getting from us parents is Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, all kinds of gifts. Oh, mom, I want, or dad, I want the new Jordans.
Right.
Bam,
Yeah.
new Jordans. Oh, I want this. Bam, you want this, and we feel like we kind of have some kind of we feel as parents that we kind of have to do this because we want to give our kids what we didn't have.
Yeah.
And that is a major problem.
Yeah.
That is a major problem. That is a hell no.
Right.
Especially in today's society where technology is as advanced as it is. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can get what I can get you when you earn it.
Right.
It's not a matter of now you got to go ahead and work three jobs to be able to afford a PS6. No, absolutely not. You want a PS6? Go ahead and finish, graduate, and go to college. And when you get finished college, then you can go ahead and buy the PS6 by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're living and breathing and living, being alive does not depend on a console system. It doesn't depend on $300, $400, $500 shoes. It doesn't depend on any of that. So again, I'm talking as a father and a parent, but more as a father. I feel, in my personal opinion, and I want to go ahead and hurt no feelings, that in the society that we are in today, this is the message to my kids. This is the message to my kids.
Right.
If I can afford it, good. If I cannot afford it, well, it's also good, because at the end of the day, you have what is most important, which is us.
And this falls in line with expectations.
Wow.
Expectations. This is nothing should be expected, because
but we sometimes fault there because we do, because of our speech pattern and our way of communication, we create a sense of false expectations
Right.
to them.
Right. Right. We could do that.
And we are
Let me-
easily drawn into that
Right.
because we want to go ahead and what? Keep our kids happy.
Right.
Our kids. I bet every one of the people that are watching this that are actually parents. And if you're not a parent yet, man, thank you for watching this. You know, this is food for thought, man. This is, you know, eat it up, you know, because you never know when your turn's gonna be. So, for the parents that are watching this, think about it. You go ahead and work your ass off. Then a lot of parents, I've seen them on Instagram, they allow these kids to talk to them crazy. Crazy. You are not about to be talking to me no crazy. I guarantee to me or my wife. Oh no.
Yeah.
You must have a death wish.
Right.
You know. And what do you do in situations like that? What do you do when your kid starts talking to you crazy?
Well, the first thing is, this doesn't just happen. This doesn't just blossom overnight. This is something that you need to nip it when you see it. And then when it's not nipped, it festers. And now the child, they already know they got away with it. They got away with one there. Let me see what else I could do. It's a special power to them, just like you were alluding to. I've noticed special powers that I have as a parent. Well, a child notices special powers that they have as a child, and that they don't have to go to work. They don't have all these responsibilities that we have, right? And that's the special power that they have, is they have their youth. They're in their golden age right now. And while they're in that golden age, they, especially as young children,
it's funny you say golden age. Go ahead.
They're actually not having a concept of time. Their considerations are very limited, because to consider is to weigh. They don't yet really know how to weigh things out because they haven't learned perfect contrast yet. They've only seen somebody else have the weight put on them, but they don't even fully know what it is that Gustavo's going through on in the background. You know,
Absolutely.
that he might not. Hey, listen, if I'm not smiling, doesn't mean that I'm upset. It could just mean that I don't have the energy to do it right now. You know how many calories you burn to smile?
Sure.
I mean, but you know what? That something, a light is always on inside of you. I think is the most important thing, is that you show that you show, just like I was alluding to earlier, is that you show your child that light inside of them when you have these conversations, and you make sure that you're getting these understandings on point. Don't confuse them. Don't say something that sounds too adultish sometimes. It's like you have to find that perfect marriage between coming down to their level
and still being
and
a
still
parent.
being a parent. Because to be a parent, APPARENT, is to be seen, to be very clear. It's a parent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and by that definition, is to be very clear.
Facts.
And if you're not clear as a parent, then later on, nothing is clear to the child that is now a man, or supposed to be playing the role as a man. And bro, come on, dog. And it's actually now having to play a role as an adult, but never really got the fruit of being a child. So they're still trying to manipulate the people around them. They're still trying to act with childlike behavior. And this just shows me that there was a lot of watering that didn't go on uh, in this child's life. So basically, what happened?
No, I'm just doing something. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So this shows me that there wasn't a lot of watering going on. So this is our responsibility, is to water our children properly, give them the sustenance they need so that they can grow one day to be the tree that one day that their children are going to have to pluck the fruit off of and eat from for sustenance. So we do well to pay mind in consideration. Show them through our actions of consideration that, you know what, there's a lot of watering you have to do to your reality. Things don't just work. You have to will them to work. You have to will it to be so. Things won't always just come to you. And this is, like I said,
Yeah.
expectations. Things won't always come to you. You need to will it to be so. You need to make it, you have to go through the process of it being a formless thought in your mind and putting conservative effort to make that a form, and then make that manifest in your reality.
Yeah,
And
you can't just as a parent, you also we do a variety of different mistakes in the process of learning. We go ahead and we start thinking, well, so and so's kid is doing good in school, and it's such a he's a straight A student, and now you're trying to mimic whatever the other parent is doing because in hopes of it working for you.
right, right,
It
right,
doesn't work like
right.
that. Your
There's no
kids
one cookie cutter way,
they
man.
are complete different identities. They have complete different behaviors. Thought process is completely
For sure.
different. You know, your kid might not be the straight A student, but your kid might be the one becoming vice president, and the other kid might be the one working at McDonald's flipping burgers.
Right,
And you'd have like you don't have control over that.
right.
And I think it's a safe thing to say that we don't have any control um over what our kids are to become. We can guide them. Our jobs as parents is to build the road for them.
Mm,
You know, build a road for them. This is right. This is wrong. No, that's not your friend. You've only known them for a week.
right.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is not your friend. That is your acquaintance. And things like that. And for those of you that just came on, we're talking about parenting. So what is good parenting? What is bad parenting? Um, is parenting a one man or one woman job? Is parenting a couple's job? Is it teamwork? We just touched base on all those things because I just came live on my Prophet HVAC.
Okay.
So hey, hello to everybody that's logged on right now. Share, share the live. Maybe we can get some more people on here. But yeah, so what makes an effective parent? What makes an effective parent? In my book, an effective parent is one. I have a solid communication with my kids. Solid. I'm talking, and I have one of those. I have one of those. I have my oldest. I have a solid communication with her. you know and it's beautiful. It is truly beautiful to see them mature.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Listen, so real quick story. um I was on my way. There was We had somebody coming and dropping some stuff off for me. I had asked her to go ahead and hey, go ahead and go meet this guy at the gate. Um and she was like, no, I don't even know this guy. But I was like, well, come on, man, just fucking go get the shit. And long story short, she got a little loud with me, and I
Mm.
said, hey, whoa, 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 don't yell at me. After that, I went downstairs, got the part, came back up here. The next day, she apologized. Oof. It's not the fact that she apologized, but the fact that she understood. The fact
Right,
that she understood. That to me was golden.
right.
That, even though in itself it was a mistake, that to me, I brought her up. I was like, now I can have an even deeper conversation with you because now I know that you have the ability to think outside the box. Now I know that you have the ability to look at yourself and say, damn, I overstepped my boundaries. I should have
Yeah,
never
yeah.
had that. Wait, hold up, wait.
Yeah, I muddied up my environment.
Yes,
Hold up.
yes.
And I think is that we look at it like that. You When you start to muddy up the situations, now you start to see that your tracks are a little bit everywhere. You're muddying up a little bit too much. And I think that when you keep accountability and you do it right on the spot, man. Sometimes, listen, sometimes we're heated, and we might need some time to simmer down and kind of let that marinate for a little bit. Feel it. So it's really good to feel. It's really good to internalize things and let them weigh themselves out, because this builds character.
Yeah.
This builds character. That she didn't allow herself to swallow it in a way where it was like she didn't digest it properly. She said, you know what? Let me take my time with this
She
one.
didn't let that ego get.
Right, right.
Oh, I
Because
am
now,
right.
because
He's
now,
wrong.
because now we're not in the state of a community anymore, like community within a home. You should feel like there's a common unity in the home.
Absolutely.
The community starts within the home. Like,
Absolutely.
so if you don't have that common unity, which is just knowing that we have purpose here, that we're doing things with purpose, that if I don't apologize to this external part of me, because everything outside of me is me, and everything that's in me is outside of me as well. So it's just like this is a reality based on mirrors, and
Facts.
and just like you said, these children are reflections of ourselves. And this is even if being a stepfather, being my own partner, stepmother to two of my children, and that we know that there was by no mistake an alignment that would put him in their lives, her in my children's lives, and that there was purpose there. um Sometimes I feel like, and it might just sound like kind of crazy, but just as beautiful as it is for a mother to give birth to a child, it is just as beautiful for a woman who didn't birth those children to love them like they did, that like they really did.
Facts.
And I think that that's a beautiful thing. um I think it's a really selfless thing. It's a considerate thing. Obviously, when we're in a relationship with somebody, we're we want to do it for them. We don't like we don't say, if I was a stepfather, I wouldn't be like, oh, I just want it for these kids, not necessarily for my partner, but for these kids. It's just like, listen, I can go and
Yeah.
adopt some kids of my own, but we do it for our partner. We do this for the other half of us, the part of us that we cultivate as another aspect of ourselves.
Initially, we do it for that.
Initially, this is
Initially, we
what,
do it for that.
and in doing
But then
that,
it becomes now as the relationship, as you know, as you start, the communication starts intertwining with one another,
right,
and now it becomes personal,
for sure.
because there is a point where you stop looking at them as stepkids or as adopted, or
This is honestly like how my sister and me. I don't see her as a stepsister.
exactly.
It's just like it's
And that's even and that
pretty.
and to prove the point even more, and you guys didn't even have that much close of a relationship as your kids have with one another,
Right, right,
and you still look at her that way. Imagine how your kids are gonna look at each other.
right.
Imagine how many barbecues they're gonna invite each other to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
won't
for
be a
sure.
barbecue without
Oh, for sure.
Talon. There
Yeah,
won't be a barbecue without Rowan. There won't,
yeah.
and I didn't mean to put your kids in.
Oh, no, no, this is cool. So, but these things are. This is what I said. This is watering, by them watching my relationship with my own partner.
Yeah,
They know how it is that their own camaraderie should be. Like, they should have a good partnership. They know how to work things out together. They don't witness her and I having yelling at each other.
facts.
They're not hearing this like toxic communication. So they should be able to work this out not only with themselves, but with people in school. And listen, when a child learns from somebody, a parent who understands the parenting that they're doing, this is like this is going to pay so much benefit, because I'm sure your daughter, she, by the relationship she has with you and the communication, she flourishes because of you communicate. A child that's not communicating with their parent, they cannot flourish around another teacher.
Facts.
How are they going to go to a school with an extension of you standing in front of a class trying to teach them something, when at home I'm trying to teach you simple shit, but I'm yelling at you.
Oof.
I'm sitting there barking things at you. You know what? Now, when you get somewhere and you're just, they just like that they're not getting yelled at. But now it's like, now I don't understand anything that's coming out of your mouth because I never really learned communication. So there's a big weight that happens in schools, and they really set you up, like we were talking about before, which was a subject that we can probably get into on another time. Would be
On Thursday, we got our next one on Thursday.
public schools versus private schools
Yeah,
versus homeschools.
I mean, they all have their pros and cons,
Yep.
just like parenting.
Yeah.
You know,
Some things work
so
for
so
too much.
so do you feel like parenting back? So here's a question, and y'all are more than welcome to come to our YouTube channel, Full Circle Conversations. Um, check us out, subscribe, please. Share, like, and follow.
And if you want to come on
And if
to
you
have
want to
a
come
conversation
on,
with
if you
us,
got a topic that we could go ahead and we'll bring you on. And so, do you ever feel like parenting in its essence of parenting is easier nowadays than it was before, or was it easier back in the 60s than it is today?
um, I think every era has its own complications because we're all going through a gradient of
Okay.
new
But
new arrival of
but
different
give me
music.
give me
And
the no, no, no.
this is
Give me the meat of the bones. Give me what you think.
well, no, well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like,
You gotta pick a side. Right now,
you
you're
gotta,
like in the middle.
right. No, what I'm saying is, like, you're saying, is there was it harder back then, or
What
is
do
it
you think?
harder
Do you
now?
think it's because of technology, like the less technological advances that we lived through back then made educating our kids better
Hmm.
than it is today, or because of the advancements in technology that we have today makes educating our kids that much harder?
This kind of goes back to and to also have that strength where you can have physical strength, you can also have emotional strength. That's intelligence.
I think your mic went out.
Mine?
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because actually today's live was a little longer than expected. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, thank you guys for coming on. Again, we'll be here on Thursday, and we're gonna go ahead and keep talking. Next week's no, well, this on Thursday's episode is gonna be about what? We said we already mentioned it that we were gonna go ahead and talk about
We were gonna talk about, it was 3 different things that we were gonna talk about, like homeschool versus public school versus private school.
exactly. So
And
we're
how they differ and where's the benefits.
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about different subjects. We're gonna go ahead and start, depicting these things, these decisions. Especially now, we might even go ahead and touch the subject of government shutdown. We're gonna go ahead. I want you to do your homework. I want you to do your homework. Let's go ahead and find out. Talk about government shutdown. You know who reached out to me? Brian reached out to me. He was like, "Hey man, how come you doing the show and I'm not there?" So we might go ahead and bring Brian on board, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about. It's gonna be more about a teaching to people, more like what is a government shutdown and what needs to happen in order for the government shutdown. We're not gonna go ahead and sit here and blame Trump. I'm letting y'all know.
To oh damn, you can't hear me.
Facts. You can't hear me. Damn. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.